What up, Skate? Welcome to Bar Vibes with Bryce the Fourth, giving out raw reactions and interacting with the masses. No subject is safe. You hear the people and the noise, but that's the point, because without the people, what is the point? Embracing vibrations. Yes, I'm very, 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 very smiley today. And that's because if you have lived under a rock and you're not Patrick Starr, you understand that the Philadelphia Eagles are going back to the fucking Super Bowl. Going back to Super Bowl with a double nickel on them. Eagles Commanders, 55 points on their head tops. Not a problem. You know, you get the first play on offense, Saquon's 60-yard touchdown. This ain't what you. That's not what they wanted. And of course, you know, they tried to keep it close. It was 14-3. They get a score, 14-12. After that, I wasn't convinced. Some of the biggest takeaways here, obviously, as I mentioned, the Saquon touchdown first. And the Eagles, they have just never looked afraid of anyone in these playoffs. They just haven't. They have been focused on making sure that, as Jalen Hurts says, the main thing is the main thing. Normally, teams have a dynamic quarterback where you can get 50, 60 yards down the field. Running game, just make sure the clock grinds. You get 4 yards to carry. Nope. Eagles are very different in that aspect, where it's let Saquon get a nice home run here or there. Make sure we get 5 yards on the ground. Make sure you're efficient in the passing game, and make sure that the defense understands all we have to do is hold teams under 20, 25 points. Game's over. Defense is playing bad, offense lifts them up. Offenses haven't gotten their footing yet, defense lifts them up until it's time for them to click. And then you get A.J. Brown. I told you. I said it on Twitter. I said I feel like they were just saving him for this moment where it's like, go out there and be you. Make plays. Annoy the shit out of Marshawn Lattimore, which he very much so did. Man almost got into a fist fight. And you get Dallas Goedert. People don't talk about him enough. First down after first down after first down. My three MVPs, other than the main people. You could talk about Jalen Hurts, and this is not part of my three. Jalen Hurts, anytime you start to doubt this man, you know what he's going to do. He's going to prove you wrong. He's been doing it his entire life, playing football, and he did it yesterday. No turnovers, efficient throwing the football. He had 8 incompletions, and he made sure that the game was always in hand. And then you still get, you got Will Shipley out here forcing fumbles on special teams, scoring touchdowns. At one point when he was running the football at the end of the game, I thought it was Saquon because he wears 28, Saquon's 26. Even my fiance, she was like, "Was that a Saquon?" I was like, "Nah, Saquon's done for the day. We already packed them the fuck up." But my MVPs are the offensive line. Cam Jurgens didn't start. Landon Dickerson started. You could tell that Cam wanted again, but again, he has a really, really sore back. And if you don't know how the center position is played, you gotta stand. You gotta hunker down, stand up. So your lower back, it needs to be strong as ever, and his was quite the opposite. So he's sitting on the sideline. Landon Dickerson gets hurt, and he gets up and he is vying, pleading to get in the game, and he does, and finishes the game strong. The leader of his men, the quarterback, praised him to no end, as he should. My second MVP is Kellen Moore. I've also voiced this before, where I'm saying the playbook is very vanilla. Kellen Moore was not trying to give anything away until it was time to give it away. And on Sunday, he opened that playbook up a little bit, gave you some, oh shit, what was that? What was that play? Why were we doing that before? We didn't need to do it before. They only lost 3 games in the regular season. Didn't need it. But when you get in the playoffs, when it's time to do it, they did it. And even, what's going on, my guy? Even Jalen was like, yeah, they took the straitjacket off me. Like, my knee was, I had a brace on, but I wasn't worried about that. They let me play. Love that. My third MVP, Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni has a 703 win percentage. 703. So every 10 games, he's winning 7 of them. I'd say 28 teams would die for that. You could ask Bears fans. You could ask Seahawks. They would die for a 4-year run, 5-year run where you're just winning games. This is 2 out of 3 years back in the bowl. At the where you want to be when you start, training camp. This is where you want to be. And he's doing it. I don't care how he's doing it. And honorable mention, obviously, as I said it, Howie. God damn it, this man knows how to construct a fucking team. This man constructed a team, youngest defense, first team defense. He's got 2 of the best corners in the NFL. I don't give a fuck who you're talking about. And Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. And then you still got Darius Slay, who is the oldest player on the team, and he's 28. No, I'm sorry, he's 32. Excuse me, 32. Defensive line, dogs. Nolan Smith, his first year starting. Jalen Carter being the leader on that defensive line. Excuse me. Excuse me again. And I didn't feel okay. So, and of course I got to talk about the Commanders. Excuse me. You know we can get that like little weird tickle in your throat, like right here. Pause. It's weird. Jaden Daniels did not make too many mistakes. The Commanders were very, very aggressive going forward on 4th downs. I mean, like, and we're not talking about 4th and 1s or 4th and 2s. I mean, like 4th and 6s. That first drive where they were going for 4th and 5, 4th and 7, I'm like, fuck, like, stop, please. Stop the bleeding. They only got 3 points out of that, but still, Zach Ertz. I know he was very emotional because, he was back home. I think it might be almost retirement time for Zach Ertz. He said that if he was 22 years old and he had Jaden Daniels, there'd be a problem, and I agree. You would almost have Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce situation on your hands, but he's on his way out of the league soon. Maybe not now. I could see him coming back. The Commanders just didn't have the firepower. And the defense was just so sound where we'll give you a little bit, but you're not going to get it all. The Commanders weren't even expecting to be here. And I know some very, very, very loyal Commanders fans. None of them were expecting to be they weren't even expecting to sniff the playoffs. So kudos to them. All praises to them. But at the end of the day, the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl, and we got to get it done. We got 2 more weeks, so we shall see. But they're going to get healthier, and at the very least, EAGLES, Eagles. Let's fucking go Birds. As for the other game, the Chiefs and the Bills. The Chiefs, we can't let them keep getting away with this. And yet, here they are, continuing to get away with this. The Chiefs fans will be happy because Patrick Mahomes is just a machine. Been in the league for 7 years. He's been in the Super Bowl for 4 of them. Yes, 5 of them. 4 of them. 4. He's only lost 1. It's getting ridiculous, and it's giving everybody Patriots vibes. The only problem is that there's a lot of people who hate on the Eagles, Niners, Giants fans, obviously because of Saquon. Perhaps, obviously, Commanders fans because they don't want to see that happen. But we can't let another we can't let another dynasty like this happen, especially because if they three-peat, they will be considered the best team in NFL history, and you just can't deny that. You just can't. You just can't. I'd be pissed off if I was a Bills fan. That was the first down. So if you weren't watching, Josh Allen sneaks it, and I'm gonna get to this sneaking thing in a second. Josh Allen sneaks it. Looks like he gets the first down. I personally thought he got it. The further judge says yes. The one behind him says no. So they're like standing like this. This is first down. This is not. They review it, and they defer to the guy who was closer, the guy who said it wasn't a first down. Chiefs get the ball back. Game changes. Chiefs go on to win. Sean McDermott, the coach of the Bills, I understand that he's been winning. Sometimes winning in the regular season doesn't cure all. Patrick Mahomes is winning at this point with like B plus players at best, other than Travis Kelce. His offensive line is makeshift with paper mache, but he is just being dominant. He's making great plays. He wasn't doing like the tiptoe thing or the fake slide thing. No, he was like, Patrick Mahomes was about business on Sunday night. And Josh Allen, credit to him, did not make any mistakes. Ran for 2, threw for 1. His defense just didn't show up when they needed him the most. When they needed him the most, they did not show up. You could see him in his post-game presser. You could tell he wasn't trying to blame anyone because he's the quarterback, but at some point, someone needs to be blamed, and it's not him. Chiefs back in the Super Bowl against the Eagles rematch. I feel very, very more confident than I did the first time because of how this team is built and how their mentality is, we're all going to hold each other up. But at the end of the day, it's still the fucking Chiefs. Super Bowl 59, Eagles-Chiefs. Chiefs-Eagles because they're favored. In NOLA. I wanted to see Bills fans versus Eagles fans because that would have been, we'd have burned that city down, but you get what you get because the Chiefs just win. Other than that, Liverpool up the Reds. They continue to stay top of the table in the Champions League and in the Premier League. Arsenal, you're not gonna catch the Reds. Forest 5-0 to Bournemouth is wild. I think the funniest story from the week is Liam Cohen. And if you don't know who Liam Cohen is, he was the offensive coordinator for the Bucs, and he promised Baker Mayfield, his quarterback, and his head coach, he was going to come back. They offered him a huge deal. He clearly hated his GM. They fired him and then offered him more money. Then Liam lied about taking an interview with the Jaguars and then took the job. If I'm Baker Mayfield, I'm at his door. Knock, knock. Hey, man, tell me what's going on. That was fucked up. I got the receipts. Why did you tell me that? But at the end of the day, even like for the Eagles, Kellen Moore's going to take an interview with the Saints for a head coaching job. Do what you got to do because head coaches offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators get fired all the time. The offensive coordinator for the Texans last year had many offers, but he was like, nah, I'll come back. And after the shitty-ass season that the Texans had last year or this year, he's not getting any offers. Go get your bread. Go get your interviews. Just make sure you focus when it's time. We Eagles have 2 weeks. Kellen Moore, man, go take your interview, and when your interview is done, focus up. At the end of the day, the Eagles are back in the Super Bowl, and we just got to focus up, man. Talk to you guys next week. Big ups to the first day. Stay focused. It'd be great. Take a sip. Bah! Go go Birds!